Welcome to this podcast, a safe space to help you let go what is no longer serving you and let's go into action. I am Liliana, your host. I am a Thanatologist, that's Death, Loss, and Bereavement Studies, and a bioenergy healer practitioner. I help women to heal silent losses that they have not recognized as such and emotionally and energetically align them with their higher call, with their vision. In this podcast, I will be interviewing women coaches, holistic practitioners, entrepreneurs, women of wisdom that will share with us valuable insights and personal experiences to inspire you and support you into becoming the woman that you are meant to be. Please subscribe to this channel so we can walk together this path, and let's move to the conversation. Welcome everyone. With us today we have Tammeron. Tammeron, how are you?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you, Liliana, for the invitation to be with you today.
Oh, my pleasure. I'm so excited about this interview because I know that you're a coach that helps women like myself. However, I've no idea about your tool. Like, I know nothing. So please tell everyone here, what is it that you do?
Oh, thank you for that. Well, my name is Tammeron, and I am a women's wellness astrologer. And I really do specialize in teaching women aged 50 and up how to use astrology as a wellness framework for emotional healing, restoring physical vitality, and spiritual evolution so that they can truly feel alive, free, and really aligned with their true destiny.
Wow. That's so powerful and fascinating because I hear astrology and I know about the signs and the basic things, but I have never thought that we could match it so specifically, even about an age gap, women, specific women, age gap, and what we're going through in that gap. Because the way you mention it sounds to me menopause, retirement, empty nest. So, wow, tell us about a bit more, please.
Well, you're exactly right, Liliana. It really is a time in our life when I know for me personally, and I'm now seeing it with my clients, that, you know, after the age of 50, and even I'm going to be daring and say, even towards the age of 55, I started to look at my life a lot differently than when I was younger because I am a mom, right? And when my kids grew up a little bit and I became single, I knew I had this calling to be an entrepreneur and to support and help people in general at that time. But what I didn't realize that was through my own life's journey and the challenges that I had to overcome and how I overcame them by using astrology and holistic health solutions kind of helped me to create a framework that happened just kind of naturally because of the way I learn the information and I interpret for myself. And then people just started asking me what it is that you're doing. And so to come back to what you're asking was that even in an astrology chart, I know as an astrologer that certain things are being activated in a woman's journey at that age in her life, and it becomes a more spiritual inquiry. And
Wow.
so, yeah, we want to look at our lives and go, what were the lessons, right? What am I here to gain? And how do I evolve? How do I get healthier and stronger rather than falling down because life knocked you out a few times?
Yes. Okay. So you're telling me that when you have an astral chart, you can
Right.
sort of tell there what events could be happening that I'm actually going through with no idea that it was kind of written in my chart. Is that correct?
Exactly. So
Wow.
just for your listeners, if they don't know anything about astrology, is the day you were born and took your first breath, exactly where the planets were in the astrological sky. And I'm talking the 10 main planets, the ones we learned in school, like the sun, the moon,
Yeah.
Mercury, Venus, Mars, blah, blah, blah. The ones we can actually see. They, wherever they were, that minute you took your first breath, what an astrology chart is, it's literally a picture of what the sky looked like in that first breath. And
Mhm.
so we call that an astrology birth chart. And so an astrologer is like a scientist. We're mathematicians. We look at the picture because it creates like a specific type of a picture, and it has a bunch of lines on it and has all the astrology glyphs on it. But an astrologer is going to interpret it almost like a language. It's like, okay, when the moon was here, it means this. When the sun was here, it means this. When Mercury was here, so all these planets, but some of the key planets that I like to guide women through in my program is understanding the Saturn, the life lessons. And it usually makes women's hair stand up when I go, you were destined to learn this lesson, and
Mhm.
this is how it showed up in your life. And women, and I can tell you whether it's going to be in your family life, it could have been happening in your career, it could have been in your communities, it could be in your primary relationships. So it's very validating. And then it's like it helps women to understand that there's nothing wrong, that your soul is on a journey, and that there are ways that you can help to heal so that you gain the wisdom. And usually that's what I'm saying at age 50 and 55, you know, if we've healed through that process and that journey, we now have the wisdom to be the storyteller, to pass down our knowledge to serve us.
Exactly, because what I'm saying is that once you know that, okay, I have these experiences, they had to happen because it's in my chart. But now what do I do with this knowledge, right? So our listeners are coaches, holistic practitioners that want a bigger practice, a more embodied practice, what it can be thriving, have clients and students. And I find that maybe some of our listeners are young and awesome, but a lot are in this age, this transitioning, like now I don't have kids to raise. Who am I? And what I'm going to be doing with the rest of my life, because I still have 30 good years and I want to do something about with my experiences, right? So as a coach, do you in your practice, do you see that many of these women that go with you to understand their journeys want to be coaches?
No, no,
Interesting.
no, no. They just want to
Wow.
understand their life better. So my
Okay.
clients need to understand why this
Yes.
happened. Astrology is going to validate it. What
Yes.
can I do about it so that I can heal those wounds, heal the emotional
Yeah.
scars? Because in astrology, patterns, specific planets have patterns, and specific things will be triggered in specific time frames. Okay. So for
Okay.
some things, it's every 7 years. It's like, wait a minute.
Mhm.
This is happening to me again. Different
Oh,
people, different experiences, but the core
the pattern.
element of what's being triggered. So you can say, I know exactly what to do.
There's
Tammeron
a
gave me the tool.
pattern.
She told me what I have to think. She told me the remedies I can use to help me stay emotionally strong. And, I have it now. But when they come to me, they don't have that. So they're not prepared for the rest of their life. So, what it is that I'm
Oh,
teaching them is like a template for your journey in life. And then you can apply the information anytime you need it. But it is experiential. You're going to go through it
yes.
with me, and I teach you when this is happening astrologically, this is what I want you to use. And I encourage people to keep following me on my weekly
Yeah.
videos because I'm always talking about what's happening astrologically, what remedies you can use to help you stay emotionally balanced. And
Mhm.
then I always give people an action step. What can I do right now to embrace
Yeah.
what's happening in the astrological sky. So my life benefits, because there's a saying, as above, so below. And that
Yeah.
applies in astrology. So what's happening right now is happening to everybody.
Okay, okay. Well, this is very interesting because for two things. One is that these women that go with you, they don't have this calling. They just want to understand their life. But it's very possible that as they understand it, a calling can start happening. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
now I have to do something with it, right? So that is one thing that I find fascinating. The other is imagine our listeners that are already having this call, this purpose, this vision, how much can step up into their practice if they understand what's going up there, right? And as you, there's so many other coaches and practitioners that can help us as coaches to always step up, step up, step up. So that is a very nice tool that you are telling us about it. Some of us
Yeah.
would have known, some of us not. So thank you for that. And now tell me, as a coach, what piece of advice you could tell our listeners so that they can keep going in this coaching journey.
That's a really interesting question. So I love that one because I became a coach first, and I have been a certified coach now for 22 years or
Oh,
23 years. Like, I am
wow.
aging myself. I am 61. I
Yeah,
don't look it, so I walk the talk. What I've been doing actually works.
yeah.
Um, and what I learned is that when I first became a coach, um, I didn't know, how do I say it? I didn't know how to really find my clients that would pay me. So the what I learned to do, and what I was taught by some of my teachers and the mentors that I was working with, was to just find the beta clients. And in
Mm-hmm.
doing that, what I found was that for me, I always kept track of their journey, because not only was I able to help them, but it also helped me to understand that by connection and by sharing our stories and holding space
Mm-hmm.
for people, that that is a gift in itself. And so just being a coach sometimes is just holding that space to allow people the opportunity to process,
Mm-hmm.
because back in the day when I became a coach and I was going through, a lot of things in my personal life before, a lot of trauma, a lot of, depression, I was suicidal, there was shame involved in that. And I had to overcome that hurdle of thinking that going and needing the need to speak to someone was actually my superpower. Sticking my hand up and just saying, sometimes you just need a sounding board. And I had to pay for those people too. And so I think as coaches, and I understand this from an astrology chart too, like my chart says, one-on-one clients like is most suitable for me. I can still teach and do other things, but
Mm-hmm.
there's a part of my chart where, and it is about holding that safety net, but it's safe for me to tell my story too, because they need to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that's the exchange, the lesson of being a coach is, remember, you're always evolving too, and your coaching journey might evolve as well. It might get
Oh,
more defined over time,
definitely.
but just holding space for people, I think, is just very powerful as a coach.
I totally back you up on this advice because when I started, I had better clients. I was teaching them something different. At that time, I didn't know this new knowledge that I have now. And they were very happy. Year pass, I get more certified, and they wanna now what can you share with us? And they became my clients again because now I had new information, and it's a process. When you grow as a coach, they already are in a different level of learning, and and it's a recurrent client if you keep in touch with them, right? So do not lose your beta clients. Keep nurturing your practice, your clientele, and I think that's very valuable advice. Thank you, Tammeron.
Oh, you're welcome. That was a great question. And I just want to say, and keep sharing your how you're evolving, because you're going to
Yes.
magnetize those people, like you said, as you became a coach and you got stronger and you learned more things, those clients that you're bringing in eventually are going to pay for you. They might be very supported by what it is that you offer, because they're right now we're in the age of Aquarius. So, a lot of people don't understand this, but I'll just share that the age of Aquarius is really about the woo. So, if your listeners are coaches that are anything to do with mindfulness training, anything to do with the world we cannot see, you know,
Mm-hmm.
anything like that, understanding astrology. Astrology is ruled by the 11th house, things that we really can't see in the more spiritual, holistic practices is going to become very, very mainstream and
Yeah.
very acceptable. So,
Exactly. What a few years ago was looked as suspicious, now is the in thing. And this opening of higher consciousness is
mhm,
exactly where I want to get my people to,
yeah,
because it's where we're going. 2026 is coming. I know it's coming very strong. We have to get out of the closet, the spiritual,
yeah.
different realms, higher vibration levels. So that's very interesting. I'm so happy that you came to this interview. And is there anything else you'd like to tell our listeners?
Well, I always have a big message is that anytime you're going through something, I know initially, we feel like if we're still in that victim mentality, it's about the blame game and saying, and maybe questioning, why did this happen to me? But as you heal and you evolve, you might realize that it became a blessing and it was a gift just for you.
Mhm.
So, that's the healing journey, and to just keep going and to keep using a lot of these things that you and I, Liliana, are talking about, the woo at this stage in time, because your body can heal on so many levels. It's not just physical healing. You got the emotional body, and we have the physical and the mental body, which is our thoughts, and then of course our spiritual body. So it's a journey, but it's definitely worth taking.
Oh, I totally agree. I totally agree. We are different people than a few years ago. Do you agree?
Totally different.
Yeah,
Totally.
to- totally. So thank you so much, Tamron. And if any of our listeners want to connect with you, I'm going to put your social media contacts in the description so they can reach out to you and take it from there and listen to Tamron because she has good advice.
Oh,
Thank
thank
you.
you so much, Liliana.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Let Go and Let's Go. I really hope that we inspire you into moving 1 degree closer towards your vision. You deserve to live an inspired life. If you resonated with anything we said, or you'd like to learn more about how I can help you to get into alignment with your soul's purpose, please reach out. Love to hear from you. Send me an email, info@lilianachamberlain.com, or I will be leaving a link in the description. And please remember to subscribe to the channel so you can join me in the next episode. Meanwhile, remember, keep shining because your light is only meant to get brighter.